Your voice has power. Your words can move mountains. When you open your mouth to speak, you have the ability to change lives, shape destinies, and leave an indelible mark on this world. Leadership isn't just about titles or positions. It's about influence. It's about the impact you have on those around you. And one of the most potent tools in a leader's arsenal is their ability to communicate effectively. When you master the art of speaking like a leader, you do not just gain respect, you earn it. You do not just ask for attention, you command it. So how do we cultivate this skill? How do we transform our words into weapons of inspiration and catalysts for change? It starts with understanding that every interaction, every conversation is an opportunity to lead. Whether you are addressing a crowd of thousands or having a one-on-one chat with a colleague, you have the chance to make a difference. First and foremost, a leader speaks with clarity. They do not hide behind jargon or fancy words. They cut through the noise and deliver their message with crystal clear precision. When you speak, make sure your words are like arrows sharp, focused, and hitting their mark every single time. But clarity alone isn't enough. A true leader speaks with conviction. They believe in what they are saying, and that belief resonates in every word they utter. When you speak, let your passion shine through. Let your listeners feel the fire that burns within you. Because when you believe in your message, others will too. Some might think that speaking like a leader means always being loud and forceful. But that's a misconception. True leadership communication is about balance. It's about knowing when to raise your voice and when to lower it. It's about understanding the power of a whisper in a world full of shouts. One of the most overlooked aspects of leadership communication is the art of listening. Yes, you heard that right. To speak like a leader, you must first learn to listen like one. Great leaders do not just talk at people, they engage in meaningful dialogue. They ask questions, they seek understanding, and they value the input of others. When you truly listen, you gain insights that will make your words even more powerful when you do speak. Another key aspect of speaking like a leader is authenticity. In a world full of phonies and pretenders, authenticity stands out like a beacon. Do not try to be someone you are not. Embrace your unique voice, your experiences, your quirks. People respect those who are genuine, who aren't afraid to show their true selves. When you speak from a place of authenticity, your words carry weight. They resonate with others on a deeper level. But authenticity does not mean being unprepared. Leaders understand the importance of preparation. They know their subject matter inside and out. They anticipate questions and objections. They practice and refine their message. So while you should always be yourself, make sure you are the best, most prepared version of yourself when you speak. When a leader walks into a room, people notice, not because they are flashy or loud, but because they carry themselves with confidence and purpose. This presence extends to how they speak. They use their body language to reinforce their words. They make eye contact. They stand tall. They use gestures effectively. Remember, communication is not just about what you say, it's about how you say it. One of the most powerful tools in a leader's communication arsenal is the ability to tell stories. Humans are wired for narrative. We connect with stories on an emotional level. When you can weave your message into a compelling story, you make it memorable. You make it relatable. You make it stick. So do not just recite facts and figures, paint pictures with your words. Take your listeners on a journey. Make them feel something. But as you tell these stories, as you paint these pictures, always remember to keep your message centered on your audience. A true leader understands that it's not about them, it's about the people they are speaking to. What are their needs? Their fears, their aspirations. Speak to these. Show them how your words, your ideas, your vision can help them. When you make your message about your audience, they are much more likely to listen and respect what you have to say. Fear. The fear of public speaking is common, even among leaders. But here's the secret: courage isn't the absence of fear. It's acting in spite of it. The leaders we admire, the ones who command respect, they feel fear too. But they do not let it stop them. They use it as fuel. They channel that nervous energy into passion and conviction. So if you feel afraid, do not beat yourself up about it. Embrace it. Use it. Let it propel you forward. Another crucial aspect of speaking like a leader is adaptability. Different situations call for different approaches. A great leader can read the room and adjust their communication style accordingly. They know when to be formal and when to be casual, when to use humor and when to be serious, when to provide detailed explanations and when to keep things brief. This flexibility in communication style shows emotional intelligence and earns respect. Silence. In a world that's constantly noisy, where everyone is fighting to be heard, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is pause. Use strategic silences in your speech. They create emphasis. They give your audience time to absorb your words. They build anticipation. A well-placed pause can be more impactful than 1,000 words. It's important to remember that respect is a two-way street. If you want people to respect you when you speak, you must first respect them. This means valuing their time, their intelligence, and their perspectives. Do not talk down to people. Do not assume you know everything. Approach each interaction with humility and an open mind. When you show respect, you get respect in return. One of the hallmarks of a great leader's speech is their ability to inspire action. It's not enough to just motivate people. You need to give them a clear path forward. When you speak, do not just tell people what to do. Show them how to do it. Give them the tools, the strategies, the mindset they need to succeed. Be specific. Be practical. Be the guide that helps them turn inspiration into reality. Another key aspect of speaking like a leader is consistency. Your words and actions must align. If you say one thing and do another, you will quickly lose credibility and respect. So make sure that you are living your message. Be the embodiment of what you are preaching. When people see that you walk the talk, your words will carry infinitely more weight. Great leaders do not just appeal to logic, they connect on an emotional level. They understand the power of empathy. They can read the emotional temperature of a room and adjust their message accordingly. They know how to uplift spirits when morale is low, how to calm fears in times of uncertainty, how to channel excitement into productive action. Developing your emotional intelligence will make you a more effective communicator and a more respected leader. Leaders who command respect understand the importance of making everyone feel valued and included. This means being mindful of the words you choose. Avoid language that might alienate or exclude certain groups. Use we. Instead of, I to foster a sense of community and shared purpose. When people feel included in your vision, they are more likely to support it and respect you as a leader. Another crucial aspect of speaking like a leader is the ability to handle difficult conversations. It's easy to be respected when everything is going well, but true leadership shines through in challenging times. When you need to deliver bad news, address conflicts, or have tough conversations, do so with honesty, empathy, and tact. Do not shy away from these moments. They are opportunities to demonstrate your leadership and earn deeper respect. There's a common misconception that leaders should always appear strong and infallible. But the truth is, showing vulnerability can actually increase respect. When you are willing to admit mistakes, share personal struggles, or express uncertainty, you become more relatable. You show that you are human. This authenticity builds trust and deepens connections with your audience. It's important to address the role of continuous improvement. The best leaders are lifelong learners. They constantly seek to refine their communication skills. They ask for feedback. They study great speakers. They practice regularly. They are not afraid to try new techniques or step out of their comfort zone. This commitment to growth not only improves their speaking abilities, but also earns them respect for their dedication and humility. Let's discuss the importance of timing in leadership communication. Knowing when to speak is just as important as knowing what to say. Great leaders have a keen sense of timing. They know when to intervene in a discussion and when to let others take the lead. They understand the power of a well-timed comment or question. They know when to push for action and when to give people time to process information. This strategic approach to communication demonstrates wisdom and earns respect. Another key aspect of speaking like a leader is the ability to simplify complex ideas. In today's information-rich world, we are often drowning in data and complexity. A great leader can take complicated concepts and break them down into simple, understandable terms. They use analogies, metaphors, and real-world examples to make abstract ideas concrete. This skill not only makes your message more accessible, but also showcases your deep understanding of the subject matter, earning you respect as a knowledgeable leader. The power of positivity in leadership communication. This does not mean ignoring problems or always being cheerful. It means maintaining a solution-focused can-do attitude even in the face of challenges. When you speak, focus on possibilities rather than limitations. Emphasize progress, not just problems. This positive outlook is contagious. It inspires others and earns you respect as someone who can lead through any situation. In our increasingly globalized world, leaders often find themselves speaking to diverse audiences. Being aware of and respectful towards different cultural norms and communication styles is crucial. This might mean adjusting your body language, being mindful of idioms or humor that might not translate well, or being aware of cultural taboos. When you demonstrate this cultural intelligence, you earn respect as a leader who can operate effectively in diverse environments. Another crucial aspect of speaking like a leader is the ability to manage your emotions. This does not mean suppressing your feelings. It means being able to express emotions in a controlled, constructive manner. When you are passionate, let it show. When you are disappointed, express it without losing your cool. When you are excited, share that enthusiasm. But always maintain a level of professional composure. This emotional management shows maturity and earns you respect as someone who can lead even in high-pressure situations. While there are times when detailed explanations are necessary, great leaders know the value of being concise. They can distill complex ideas into powerful, memorable statements. They understand that sometimes less is more. When you can communicate your message clearly and concisely, you demonstrate respect for your audience's time and intelligence. This skill is particularly valuable in today's fast-paced, information-saturated world. Your words carry weight when people trust you as a reliable source of information. Build this credibility by always doing your homework. Know your facts. Be willing to admit when you do not know something and commit to finding out. Back up your statements with evidence or experience. When you establish yourself as a credible speaker, people are more likely to listen to and respect what you have to say. Another key aspect of speaking like a leader is the ability to use your voice effectively. This goes beyond just the words you choose. It's about how you use volume, tone, pace, and pitch to convey your message. A well-modulated voice can command attention, convey authority, express empathy, or create excitement. Practice using your voice as an instrument, varying these elements to enhance your message and engage your audience more effectively. Great leaders do not just provide answers, they ask thought-provoking questions. They use questions to stimulate discussion, challenge assumptions, and encourage critical thinking. When you ask insightful questions, you demonstrate intellectual curiosity and a collaborative approach to problem solving. This earns you respect as a leader who values others' input and promotes a culture of learning and innovation. Your body language, facial expressions, and gestures speak volumes. They can reinforce your words or completely undermine them. Be aware of your nonverbal cues. Make sure they align with your message. Use eye contact to connect with your audience. Use gestures to emphasize key points. Stand or sit in a way that projects confidence and openness. When your nonverbal communication is congruent with your words, you come across as authentic and trustworthy. Earning greater respect. Another crucial aspect of speaking like a leader is the ability to adapt to different communication channels. In today's digital age, leaders need to be effective communicators, not just in face-to-face interactions, but also through various media, be it video conferences, phone calls, emails, or social media. Each channel has its own nuances and best practices. A great leader understands these differences and can adjust their communication style accordingly. This adaptability showcases your versatility and earns you respect as a modern, tech-savvy leader. Great leaders understand the importance of recognizing others' contributions and efforts. When you speak, make it a point to give credit where it's due. Celebrate team successes. Express gratitude for support and hard work. This not only motivates people, but also demonstrates your humility and team-oriented approach. It earns you respect as a leader who values and uplifts others. Your words gain power when they are backed by action. When you make commitments, keep them. When you set expectations, meet them. When you promise updates, provide them. This consistency between your words and actions builds trust and credibility. It shows that you are a leader of integrity, someone whose words carry weight because they are always followed by corresponding action. Another key aspect of speaking like a leader is the ability to navigate disagreements and conflicts constructively. Leadership often involves dealing with differing opinions and competing interests. When you can address these situations with diplomacy, objectivity, and a focus on finding common ground, you demonstrate true leadership. Show that you can listen to all sides, articulate different perspectives fairly, and guide discussions towards productive outcomes. This skill earns you respect as a leader who can unite people and move forward, even in challenging circumstances. Great leaders are able to paint a compelling picture of the future. They can articulate where they want to go and why it matters. When you speak, do not just focus on the present or the immediate future. Share your long-term vision. Help people see the bigger picture. Connect day-to-day actions to larger, meaningful goals. This ability to communicate a clear, inspiring vision earns you respect as a forward-thinking, strategic leader. While it's valuable to learn from other great speakers, it's crucial to develop your own authentic voice. Do not try to be a carbon copy of someone else. Instead, find ways to incorporate effective techniques into your natural style, your unique experiences, personality, and perspective are what make you special. When you speak in a way that's true to who you are, you come across as genuine and relatable. This authenticity earns you respect as a leader who is comfortable in their own skin. Another crucial aspect of speaking like a leader is the ability to motivate and inspire. It's not enough to just relay information or give orders. Great leaders know how to touch people's hearts and ignite their passion. when you speak. Aim to connect with people's values and aspirations. Help them see how their work contributes to something greater. Share stories of triumph or adversity. Celebrate progress and milestones. When you can consistently motivate and inspire through your words, you earn respect as a leader who can bring out the best in others. Let's talk about the power of active listening in leadership communication. Effective communication is a two-way street. Great leaders do not just speak well, they listen intently. When others are speaking, give them your full attention. Show that you value their input. Ask clarifying questions. Summarize what you have heard to ensure understanding. This level of engaged listening demonstrates respect for others and earns you respect in return. It also provides you with valuable insights that can inform your own communication. The world is constantly changing, and great leaders know how to adjust their message and style to fit new contexts. Be willing to evolve your communication approach as circumstances change. Stay informed about current events and trends that might impact your audience. Be open to new communication technologies and platforms. This adaptability shows that you are a dynamic, relevant leader who can guide others through change. Another key aspect of speaking like a leader is the ability to create a safe space for open dialogue. Great leaders foster an environment where people feel comfortable sharing their thoughts and ideas, even if they are different or challenging. Encourage diverse perspectives. Welcome constructive criticism. Respond to differing views with curiosity rather than defensiveness. When you create this kind of open, respectful communication culture, you earn respect as a leader who values transparency and collaborative problem solving. The power of storytelling in leadership communication. Stories have been a fundamental part of human communication since the dawn of time. They are not just for entertainment, they are powerful tools for conveying ideas, values, and lessons. As a leader, mastering the art of storytelling can significantly enhance your ability to connect with and influence others. When you weave stories into your communication, you are doing more than just sharing information. You are creating an experience for your audience. Stories engage emotions, activate multiple areas of the brain, and make your message more memorable. They can illustrate complex concepts in relatable ways, making your ideas more accessible and impactful. But not all stories are created equal. To truly speak like a leader, you need to craft and deliver stories that resonate with your audience and serve your purpose. Start by building a repertoire of personal anecdotes, case studies, and historical examples that align with your key messages. These stories should be authentic, relevant, and meaningful. When choosing stories to share, consider your audience. What are their experiences, challenges, and aspirations? A story that speaks to their reality will be far more powerful than one that does not connect with their lives. Remember, the goal isn't to show off or entertain, but to illuminate, inspire, and motivate. Structure is crucial in storytelling. A well-told story has a clear beginning, middle, and end. It introduces a challenge or conflict, shows the journey to overcome it, and concludes with a resolution that ties back to your main point. This structure creates tension and release, keeping your audience engaged and invested in the outcome. As you tell your stories, pay attention to pacing. Vary the rhythm of your speech to build suspense, emphasize key points, or allow for reflection. Use pauses strategically to let important moments sink in. Your voice is an instrument. Learn to play it skillfully to enhance the emotional impact of your stories. Descriptive language is a powerful tool in storytelling. Paint vivid pictures with your words. Use sensory details to make your audience feel like they are right there in the moment. But be careful not to overdo it. Too much description can bog down your narrative. Aim for a balance that brings your story to life without losing focus on your main message. Authenticity is key in leadership storytelling. Share your failures and vulnerabilities along with your successes. When you open up about your own struggles and how you overcame them, you become more relatable and trustworthy. It shows that you are human, that you understand challenges, and that you have learned from experience. Remember, the most effective leadership stories aren't just about you. They are about the people you lead, the challenges you face together, and the vision you are working towards. Use we more than. To create a sense of shared experience and collective purpose. Timing is crucial when it comes to storytelling in leadership communication. Know when a story will enhance your message and when it might distract from it. A well-placed story can break tension, illustrate a point, or inspire action. But if overused, stories can lose their impact or make you seem unfocused. Practice is essential to become a skilled storyteller. Start small by incorporating brief anecdotes into your daily conversations. Pay attention to how people react, what engages them, what falls flat. Use these insights to refine your storytelling technique. Remember that great stories evolve. Do not be afraid to refine and adapt your stories based on audience reactions and changing contexts. A story that resonates today might need tweaking tomorrow to remain relevant and impactful. One powerful storytelling technique is the use of metaphors and analogies. These can help you explain complex ideas in simple, relatable terms. They create mental images that stick with your audience long after your speech is over. Develop a set of go-to metaphors that align with your leadership vision and values. When telling stories, be mindful of cultural sensitivity. Stories that resonate in one culture might fall flat or even offend in another. As a leader, you need to be aware of these nuances, especially if you are speaking to a diverse or global audience. Encourage storytelling within your organization. Create opportunities for team members to share their experiences and insights. This not only helps develop their communication skills, but also fosters a culture of openness and shared learning. Use stories to cast your vision for the future. Paint a vivid picture of what success looks like, how it feels, what it means for everyone involved. A compelling vision story can inspire and motivate people to work towards a common goal. Stories can also be powerful tools for change management. Use them to illustrate why change is necessary, what the journey might look like, and how everyone can contribute. Stories can help alleviate fears and build excitement about new directions. Remember that not all impactful stories need to be long or elaborate. Sometimes a brief, well-crafted anecdote can be just as powerful as a lengthy narrative. Learn to gauge your audience and the situation to determine the appropriate scope and depth of your stories. As a leader, you can use stories to build bridges and foster understanding between different groups. Shared stories create common ground and empathy. They can help break down barriers and create a sense of unity among diverse teams. When facing challenges or setbacks, use stories to maintain perspective and resilience. Share tales of past obstacles overcome, of persistence in the face of adversity. These stories can provide hope and motivation during tough times. Storytelling isn't just about the past or present, it's also about the future. Use speculative storytelling to explore potential scenarios, prepare for challenges, and inspire innovative thinking. What if? Stories can be powerful tools for strategic planning and problem solving. As you develop your leadership voice, pay attention to great storytellers in various fields, not just business leaders, but also artists, writers, and community organizers. Analyze their techniques, their timing, their ability to connect with audiences. There's always something new to learn in the art of storytelling. Remember that stories do not always have to have happy endings to be effective. Sometimes sharing stories of failure or unresolved challenges can be equally powerful. They show honesty, create opportunities for learning, and can motivate people to find solutions. In the digital age, storytelling takes on new dimensions. Learn to adapt your stories for different platforms, whether it's a brief anecdote for social media, a comprehensive case study for a presentation, or an evolving narrative for a long-term project. Each medium offers unique storytelling opportunities. Use stories to recognize and celebrate your team's achievements. Sharing success stories not only motivates the individuals involved, but also sets standards and inspires others. It shows what's possible and reinforces positive behaviors and outcomes. When dealing with data and statistics, use stories to give them context and meaning. A dry recitation of numbers rarely inspires or persuades, but when you wrap those figures in a compelling narrative, you make them relatable and memorable. As a leader, you are not just a storyteller, you are also a story collector. Listen actively to the stories of those around you. They are a rich source of insights, inspiration, and material for your own leadership communication. Storytelling can be a powerful tool for conflict resolution. When opposing sides share their stories, it creates understanding and empathy. As a leader, you can use storytelling to help conflicting parties see different perspectives and find common ground. Use stories to explain your decision-making process. When you need to make tough choices, sharing the story of how you arrived at your decision can help others understand and support your direction, even if they do not agree with the outcome. In times of crisis, stories can be a source of comfort and guidance. Historical anecdotes of resilience, personal tales of overcoming adversity, or even fictional narratives that embody your organization's values can help steady the ship in turbulent waters. Do not underestimate the power of humor in storytelling. A well-placed, appropriate joke or amusing anecdote can lighten the mood, make you more approachable, and help your audience relax and engage with your message more openly. As you become more comfortable with storytelling, experiment with different narrative structures. While the classic beginning, middle, end format is reliable, techniques like in medias res, starting in the middle of the action, or parallel narratives can add variety and intrigue to your communication style. Encourage your team to develop their own storytelling skills. This not only improves overall communication within your organization, but also prepares future leaders. Consider implementing storytelling workshops or mentoring programs to foster this skill. Use stories to bridge generational gaps in your workforce. Different age groups often have different reference points and experiences. Skillful storytelling can help create shared understanding and appreciation across these divides. When introducing new ideas or innovations, use stories to make them feel familiar and achievable. Connect the new concept to past successes or well-known narratives to help your audience relate to and embrace the change. You are not just telling individual stories, you are crafting an ongoing narrative about your organization, your team, and your shared journey. Each story you tell should contribute to this larger narrative, reinforcing your values, goals, and identity. Finally, always keep in mind that the ultimate goal of leadership storytelling is to serve your audience and your mission. Your story should enlighten, inspire, and empower others to act, grow, and succeed. When you master this aspect of leadership communication, you do not just speak like a leader, you truly become one, guiding and influencing others through the power of your words and the authenticity of your experiences. The art of storytelling is a vital component of speaking like a leader. It allows you to connect with your audience on a deeper level, make your messages more memorable, and inspire action. By honing your storytelling skills, you add a powerful tool to your leadership communication arsenal. Remember, every interaction is an opportunity to tell a story that matters, to share a piece of wisdom, to inspire change. So go forth, find your stories, and use them to lead with impact and purpose.